Last night, a brawl broke out between the Kansas and Kansas State basketball teams after a player went over there and stole the ball when the game was all but over with. Let's be completely clear here. He stole the ball, went over there, wanted to go to get that quick layup with seconds left in the game. Ended up getting a block by DeSouza, who ended up, standing over him after blocking the shot, taunting him, as most of us will call it, and it was all downhill from there when the brawl broke out between both of these teams. Punches were thrown, and now the big question, is what does the NCAA do about something like this? Do the players deserve to be banned forever? I've heard some pretty extreme cases saying these guys should never be walking back on the court again. Do I agree with that? Not necessarily. I mean, you look at these guys, they're college kids. They're, 18, 19, 20, whatever they are. They're still young. They're still learning. You got to give people like this, especially when you consider, you can say it's easy to say kick them out, never let them back again. You have to remember, though, at the same time, these guys are playing for a career. You just don't just completely take that away from them. You got to give them a chance to come back, learn from what they did, understand this was wrong. I should have done this. I should have done that, get better from it. At least offer them the second chance. But you got to suspend them, right? Suspend them 5 games, 10 games, whatever it is. You got to throw down that suspension because you just can't say, oh, it's acceptable. As much as, fans love watching fighting as enjoyable as it is in a lot of sports. A lot of people talk about the hockey fights, the baseball fights, and everything else. And I can completely see, both sides of the spectrum on that. As a fan, is somebody that's not a violent person who enjoys watching it, though. It's like, it's fun. I want to see my team, show some emotion out there. But at the same time, it's college players, or it's a sport in general. Like, you don't want to send the wrong message, like, oh, we're accepting the violence on the court type of deal here. But more importantly than, going down that road is going down the fact that these guys went and took it to the crowd. You don't take the fights to the crowd, because at that point in time, somebody else gets risk, or somebody else is then in danger of getting hurt. And that is, not a player, not part of this fight, shouldn't be a part of this fight, but you welcome them to an extent to it because you took this into the crowd, something that does not need to be done, including taking the chair out. I don't understand that one. He had Souza just like, let's spicing things up a little bit here, a little WWE style, and rip the chair out. I don't know what he was thinking there. Thankfully, nobody got hit with that. But you got to consider, even if you wanted to have something like that in the sport of basketball, I can't leave the court. You can't bring something like that into the crowd. And I think that's the biggest waning concern here, besides obviously where the discipline should be, is how you react to something like that where the players do get taken into the crowd, and do you discipline them differently because they did, bring it out there in the first place, not just for the punches thrown, not just for the fight, instigating in the first place, which would be an interesting one as well. I don't think you can really say, you can say there was an instigator, but you can play that role for both teams. You can say the guy should have stole the ball with 5 seconds left and it was a great block, but the guy should not have stood over him, which ultimately did start the fight, was standing over him and just, again, taunting him. At the end of the day, though, it does not appear anyone got hurt, thankfully, so we'll see what the NCAA has to rule down on him here.